I made a donation goal of $500. I will kiss Dilly. Yeah, we have the same size hands. That means you're small.
I try to avoid doing this breakdown video, but this has just popping up in my feed so much, and it's just breaking the internet. And also, people talking about this video, they're missing certain points. Stay tuned what I'm about to talk about. But I'm your host, Panda at Controvert Podcast, and we're going to talk about some points, what happened with this stream, and what is going on with society, what is going on with simps, the rise of simps, what these other streamers are just missing out on. All right, so basically what is happening is we have this female streamer called SupCaitlin, and we have her Twitch mod called Dilly. Okay, so Dilly, I don't know what's up with that name. Like, it's kind of like, give me a wet willy or something, right? But anyways, what's going on here is that she just berates this guy, belittles him so much throughout the stream. And she just kind of like makes it seem like she's more superior over this guy. And this guy is just taking it and acting like it's nothing the whole time, right? So the problem is there's a lot of controversy with this. Actually, not too much controversy. A lot of people actually think this guy is like simping and stuff. But the controversy with this is that in some interviews, we'll show that later, some interviews, he's saying all this stuff like, oh yeah, it was all a plot. It was just like predetermined that I was going to act like this. It's just all an act. And then she also has this really cringe, like kind of apology. It's not really an apology. It's just so weird. It's just the most weirdest thing ever. And basically what happens is she's saying, oh yeah, we're just good friends. Like, we just do this. But like, if you're really good friend, would you really make it like this? Like, would you really belittle one of your best friends like this? All right, let's take a look at the stuff that's really cringe.
It's because I have cats and he's allergic and he has allergy meds. Doesn't he look like Gru from Despicable Me? Sorry, every time I see Dilly, I just start laughing. Hazel, thank you for 6 months. What did you fix at her house?
Her PC.
Like, what did you do?
Oh, just turn on some things. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I hate when men speak. It's like, explain? Okay, whatever.
You see how this society, it just condones this type of action where women could just be misandrous. Like, she's just so against like men. We don't commonly hear the word misandrous. We always hear this word misogynistic. You're such a misogynist as a man, blah, blah, blah. But look, when she's just saying like, I hate when men speak, it doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. It's like so against men, right? That's misandrist. That's like a discontemptful attitude towards men. That's basically what the definition is.
Go back with my ex or get with Dilly for 6 months. Fuck. Okay, so in case you guys know, or don't know, I don't want to say his name out loud. This ex fucking traumatized me. He had a gambling addiction, drug addiction, porn addiction. Like, he actually fucked me up, okay? So either go through, like, trauma and emotional abuse, or date Dilly for 6 months. Trying to get back with my ex.
Do y'all see this? Like, if you're a simp and you're still watching this, you think simping is really gonna get the girl. Like, she knows her ex is really bad for her. Her ex is messed up in the head. Her ex is a failure. And she still prefers to get with him rather than this guy who's so nice. Flew all the way from wherever he is, I don't know where he's from, to go see her and hang out with her. That's just the difference between what a woman wants. A simp versus a fuckboy. She would always prefer the fuckboy. Rarely a simp.
Would you hit?
So basically, they're playing this truth or drink. They could give the truth. Dilly got asked, would you hit? Would you have sex with Caitlyn? He doesn't want to answer.
That means yes, by the way. Because if it's a no, you would just say it. So obviously you're trying to...
I feel like it's a test. There's no right or wrong answer, or there isn't.
Do you see how he's just so cautious about his answers? He's just like, I feel like it's a test. to feel like there's no right or wrong answer. And then we'll go into this like more in detail, how he's so brainwashed, how he's trying to like cover up his inadequacies, how he's trying to cover up like his actual goal of trying to have sex with this girl.
Well, me personally, I would not hit. So, yeah, there is no right or wrong answer.
Did you see his reaction right there? Here, I'll play it back a little bit.
So,
did you see that? He's like kind of sad and disappointed, right? He flew all the way from, I don't know where he flew from, but he flew all the way from somewhere far to hang out with this girl. And then he has the hopes of just getting some action, right? But then when she says, no, I'm not down to hit. And then later on, she calls him like the little brother. But look at this. Like, if you really thought of this person as your little brother, would you make this like a goal? Like, would you make this a whole shenanigan? Like, oh, let's kiss. And then you would be okay with it. Obviously, you know he's okay with it. That's why you're trying to exploit this, you know? And then the problem with these simps, right? The problem is that they have these hopes. They're paying all this money for this girl online who streams, yada, yada, yada. But they're not going to get anything. And then they act like it's totally okay. And they're so brainwashed. Here, I'll even play this clip right here. It's a interview with Hassan right here.
If feelings do catch, great. That's not no big deal. But we're like, you know, that's just how
he's talking about how he might have feelings that kind of come up with this girl. Like it could possibly develop, right?
So
like you're playing, the way I understand it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're playing the fall guy. Like, you're playing a role, right? What Caitlin is doing is like rage bait content to a certain degree, where she's like, oh my god, ew, gross, like my mod is here, and oh god, like it's playing a fantasy of like, this is how I would treat you, the chatters who are watching.
So he proceeds to talk about how it's satire and it's all a joke. And he makes it sound like it's just an act, right? He's so deluded to a point where he actually, in his mind, he's probably even lying to himself thinking it's an act. But you can see certain tonalities, certain body languages. He's so sad and disappointed throughout the stream. That's why it makes it so much more uncomfortable. And no one talks about this. No streamer, no interviews are talking about this. They're talking about just like, oh, you know, he's a simp, blah, blah. But why? Why is he a simp? Why do we all know it inherently that he's a simp? It's because of his body language. It's because of these tonalities, the way he reacts. Oh, are you okay? And dude, you just listen to him talk in these interviews, you'll see the tonality is completely different.
And deriving some kind of satisfaction out of this, and you're supposed to be the guy who's like humiliated. It's like being a fall guy, which I understand, right? Like, there's a setup. I guess, like, for me, when I watch it, when I saw it, for me, it's not for me. I don't understand the content at all. Like, I don't
think it's for a lot of people, to be very, very honest. He's saying that it's not for everybody. It's not for a lot of people. Like, we just watch this, we just cringe.
I don't get it. But, like, is it pre-planned? Like, you know that, like, she's gonna, you know, kiss.
Do you see? Look at his face, right? He's just in deep thought. When someone is, like, conflicted, they're conflicted with, like, their actual thoughts, like their subconscious versus their conscious mind. Subconscious is, like, things, like, you're not really thinking about. Like, when you shower, hold the shower head. Are you holding it with your left hand or your right hand? When you pick up a pencil, are you using your right hand? These are things you don't think about. Things you actively think about is like, do I actually like this girl, right? But then deep down, your heart, that's what we call it, the unconscious mind, right? Pretty much your heart is, that's what they refer to. It's pretty much your unconscious mind, like your feelings towards this person. And then he is seeing all of this attention and he's all like, everyone's criticizing her and she's like my friend. But then I am also getting judged. So I'm like thinking, is it really like I like her? Is it really that I wanted something? So you could see from his body language, he's so concerned. And maybe someone could just say he's just awkward like that. Maybe he just has natural reactions where it's just like this. But you can see throughout like the stream of him getting belittled by Caitlin, that's not the case. and he's just like really chill. But then when it comes to these interviews, he's like so tense at certain times when it's like really crazy questions where it's like hitting it on the nail, right? But then when it comes to like just chill talking, he's like super chill and all that.
Like she's gonna, you know, give you a little kissy poo and then be like, oh, gross. Like, is that what it is?
Yeah, because I feel like she's had that reaction before, and it just had it
That yeah was so uncertain.
been blown up to this kind of idea, right? You know, like she's just uncomfortable with touch in general, right? So when you're generally,
Dude, come on. Like, come on. You're saying like she's uncomfortable with touch in general? Dude, in the stream, she's talking about body count. I'm not gonna answer my body count. Like what Caitlyn said to Dilly, it's the same thing. Like remember when Dilly was all like, oh, I'm not gonna answer that question if I would have sex with Caitlyn, right? But same thing to Caitlyn. She would answer that question if her body count was low. She's definitely high, bro. He's all defending her, saying all this stuff like, oh, she's just uncomfortable to touch. Dude, a girl with a high body count, you're comfortable to touch. And this guy knows it, man. Come on, she dresses like scandalous, promiscuous.
uncomfortable touching people, you know, I could be like, it happens, right? Like, especially if you, like, you know, for example, like, in her mindset, I'm like her little brother. Who in the hell?
Dude,
Okay.
if that's what you really believe, Dilly, that's crazy. And that's what I want to make the point to all these viewers, right? Is that anyone watching this, you got to really understand this. You got to understand, are you really believing this type of stuff that these people who are superior, I'm not talking about just men, right? I'm not talking about just simps. I'm talking about even women, okay? If you're getting controlled by a man, and this happens a lot, where it's like the lover boy syndrome. Gets controlled by a man, and then she just believes all this crap a fuckboy is just feeding her, right? Same thing that applies to this simp. So all these simps, you gotta watch out. Whether you're a guy simp or a girl simp, you gotta watch out for like the things that you're actually being fed, right? Because you just start to believe what this person is saying because you want to believe in the benefit of the doubt, and that's fine. It's because you as a person, you're a nice person. You want to believe in the best in people, and that is very, very a good quality trait. But on the downside, there's always a weakness to someone who has an advantage, right? So if you're like Superman, if your superpower is like being nice and understanding of people, your kryptonite is probably getting taken advantage. So that's the key point I'm trying to make, is that not a lot of streamers are talking about how brainwashed this guy is.
So like you're in on the bit is what you're saying. You're saying you're in on the bit. Like the
bit was planned like months in advance, right? We were talking about doing this at TwitchCon and blowing this up at TwitchCon, right? So this has been planned for a long.
Let's go back to the full stream.
His baby hands. Yesterday, Dilly got so drunk he was saying, "Can I say it on stream?"
What is it?
Like how do you say that it's all planned, and then when you're like what I'm pretty sure you did not plan every single aspect of this. Even if you planned the whole main plot of, hey, let's have you be like the simp in this little in this charade. Let's have you play like the simp that is like getting belittled. How would anyone say yes to that? And then it's crazy because like they say it's planned for a long time, for months in advance. But then they also say that, oh, like you're coming to LA. Hey, let's do this thing. Are you sure you really want to do it? We don't have to do it. Okay, so that's contradicting. One is we planned this months in advance at TwitchCon. And then one is like, oh, when he was coming, we were like, do you really want to do this, or we could hang out? Contradicting, man. That's another thing I want to talk about. The contradiction is very, very obvious, but then simps will still believe that there's this little narrative like, oh, it's not, this was all planned, so it's totally fine.
Obviously,
I feel like it's a test. There's no.
I'm gonna speed it up because it's a little slow.
well, me personally, I would not hit. So yeah, there is a right or wrong answer. Rate mod from 1 through 10 if you would smash. Are you sensitive?
No. Let me be honest.
Okay, so me personally, How about you rate me first?
10 out of 10.
Oh, fuck, you know what I'm gonna rate. I'm just gonna drink.
That means I'm a 6. It's okay.
All right, this is one of the most pivotal parts. You'll see, like, this is why a lot of people are just like upset.
Like, what's this? Oh, it's out loud.
Oh.
I'll slow it back down.
Anyways.
Y'all see that? Y'all see, like, he's like just kind of like a little bit feeling a burn, right? And it's not even like he's laughing about it. He's actually a little bit.
If it was, oh, I said that out loud.
Oh.
He's actually hurt by this. You could tell, right? And then she's like, anyways. How can you say that this is all a charade? This is all an act? I don't believe that. And then we just like, let's just fast forward to like the whole like kissing part.
Okay, so before we do this, can you please clean yourself up?
Okay, so we get to the kissing part, and then before that, she tells him to clean himself up, kind of demanding him, ordering him. She's been doing that the whole stream, right? She just kind of like has a superior mindset like over him, and he just like obeys.
Like, make sure there's no snot. Maybe rinse out your mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
she makes it like a
okay,
big deal,
Susan.
like,
fuck.
I don't want to
Literally,
kiss this guy.
fuck. Thank you, John CS, for another $100. You see the goal?
So you see how like he came back from the bathroom and then he's putting on his like chapstick and all that stuff. He's just like so wishing for something. Like he has like an expectation, and we've all been there as simps. Like I've been a simp one time before. I've been simp a couple times actually. And when you are simping over a girl, you kind of like want to prepare yourself like a lot. He goes to the bathroom, he puts on his chapstick. He's like, you can tell he gets nervous, right? So that's why so many people are just looking at this, and then we can feel a sense of energy. And not a lot of streamers are talking about this, or just influencers or just content creators. They're not talking about what's going on like with his whole persona. This whole persona is in a clash with what is actually true. What is actually true is that he is so nervous about this girl, you know, that he finally gets to, as a mod, meet her in real life. And finally, as a mod, he gets a kiss. Every mod's dream. This is why we gotta stop simping, you know? We gotta defund simping. And by the way, Controvert podcast, we usually don't have these reaction videos. We usually have a podcast with guests and all that. But we talk a lot about like being a simp, being a gentleman, and what the differences are, why it's so important to not be a simp, why it's important to defund simping for all men to be more masculine. And we had this guest called Logan. He came on to talk about
being a gentleman and being a simp is very different. So you are a gentleman until the girl disrespects you, walks over you, tries to do something that it crosses your boundaries. A simp allows these things. That's what simping is. Yes, you're a gentleman, but the gentleman does not tolerate these things. The second the girl fucks up,
Walks away.
boom, he's gone to another chick.
So our podcast, we have talks, getting perspectives from different people, right? Men and women, and we're trying to see it from all point of views. We're not trying to just be like red pill and just like catering towards men. We're not trying to be like blue pill, just catering towards women. We're trying to have a healthy balance. But what is really tried and true is that being a simp, that will not get you anything. And that's what this channel, one of our focuses talks about, is to try to not be a simp. And we totally agree with Logan Duong. You guys could check him out too, Logan Duong. And we think that simping is just bad. Weak men in general are just bad for everyone. It's just bad for women. It's bad for men because men are not going to get anything, and women then begin to have this higher standard, and they will not know what is really what they want.
Oh my god, thank you, Sam, for $20. Well, how do I do this?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Whatever you're comfortable with. You hear that?
Like grab your chin and then turn you. It's up to you.
Wait, what?
And it's
Like turn you this way.
like, remember from like the interview that we were listening, the way he talks to Hassan, right? It's very assertive. Like whenever you just watch any of these interviews, like with Moist Critical, Penguin Zero or whatever, and with Hassan, you watch it with anyone, like any interview that Dilly has done, he talks more masculine and assertive, like not like a bitch, not like a simp, you know? But then when he comes on the stream, he's like, are you okay? Oh, no. That's when you know it's actually he's being a simp.
Like this, and then you go for it. I don't know.
You're funny. You're fucking funny. Yeah, we're not doing that. I was gonna go up and kiss you.
No, that's fine.
To be honest.
Do whatever you're gonna do, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, excuse me. Sorry. Can you close your legs? Holy
Okay.
fuck. You're trying to
I'll
make me feel his dick with my legs.
All right.
Can I see?
I don't think so. I can't believe this.
Oh, it's blurry. Is it actually?
I can't believe this is happening.
Sorry, ignore the
It's
camera.
another key
Is it
phrase.
now? It's still blurry or no? I don't think it's blurry. Okay.
Okay.
Why? I don't know why we changed seats.
It's a key phrase because he makes it sound like it's
I don't want to do.
totally
Get
chill.
another drink. Hold on, get stretching. Sit back. Hold on. Come here. Ah, God, fuck. Sorry. Okay, before we kiss, let's just take a moment. I'm about to kiss him, guys. This is the guy I'm kissing.
That's unfortunate for you.
Bro.
I'm kissing him.
Bro, like she's just belittling him, dude. You can't just okay, like after this whole thing, they have this like follow-up stream where he's like wearing red. You guys can look it up. But for the sake of time, I'm not gonna play like all these things, right? I'm trying to keep this video really quick, very concise. But then it's like, why would you put all these things and it, like make him look like he looks like shit? Pretty much like she's purposely putting like photos where he looks like derpy and like not that good looking. Like, let's be real, he doesn't look good in those photos, right? Everyone has like derpy photos, especially like when you open up your FaceTime and then it's like on you and you're like double chin, right? It's just, you know, standard shit, natural shit. She's making it sound like he's like way uglier than he is, you know? And yeah, I mean, like, I'll be real, he's not the best looking dude, but it's just like she kind of purports it even further that he's not like a good looking dude. And then he just lets this happen. Like, how do you say all this stuff like it's all an act? But then this girl, you could tell she's literally belittling and bullying him. Like, actually, this is like straight up actual bullying. It's like, yeah, it's a joke, blah, blah, blah. That's what she says in the follow-up, right? But then that's what everyone says after they get caught red-handed, after they get caught doing something wrong. And then that's what I'm trying to say, guys. This is the agenda.
Come closer.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't do it. Sorry, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. God, when are you gonna do this?
Just pretend.
Okay.
All right, and then
Your short
finally we
clothes
get to
in,
the
don't worry.
kiss.
Come close. I have to go to you, or I have to come closer to me.
Okay, I'm right here.
Oh, God, fuck. Sorry, one more shot.
I'm sorry.
If you ever want to get drunk really fast, just have to kiss Dilly. You'll be fucked up. But then.
All right, you guys hear that? If you ever want to get really drunk really fast, just kiss Dilly. Do you guys see the agenda now? The agenda is society is brainwashing all these dudes to thinking we need to just bend to a woman's will in order to get them. And then you have simps like this just kind of thinking, I'm just going to like go with whatever she says because she's high value woman. And if I just listen to what she says, then she'll think I'm chill. And when she thinks I'm chill, then I have a chance with her. That's the agenda I wanted to say the whole time. Is like there's this massive brainwashing that if you have opinions as a man, right? Say for example me. Say for example this whole podcast. Say for example being a host on this podcast, having opinions as a man, you will get canceled. And I'm going to be real. Yeah, having this podcast, there's a lot of traction that happens. There's a lot of, not traction, I would say, there's a lot of misfortunes that happen, like with friends, like going like, oh, your opinions are too much, right? So girls like this, they could have so much opinions. You see the beginning of the clip, right? The beginning of this clip I'm talking about, this clip that you're watching right now. She is saying all this stuff like, oh, man, I hate it when men are like explaining like this, blah, blah, blah. And she's like just talking bad about men in a condescending way. There's other things that she says throughout this whole live stream, this whole full live stream, but I'm not going to get into it. But she makes it sound like men are trash. And just having this simp guy like this is fine. Like she makes it sound okay that being a simp is totally fine. And that's how you will get close with me. That's how women would want to be your friend. And that's how you as a man should be. You should be weak. You should be a simp. You should not have opinions. you should just be okay and talk like very feminine, like, oh, it's okay. We'll get into that right now.
Can't do it.
It's so awkward.
It's okay.
Can you come closer?
It's
Close?
okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Feminine.
Ready.
Can you pucker up? Pucker up.
I have small lips.
You snotted on me. You just snotted on me.
My allergy.
You went, little snots went on my leg.
Did?
Yes.
It did? Y'all see that? He's just like so nervous. Like when you know when you're being a simp and you're just like, oh my god, are you okay? Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah. And then you're trying to like be very considerate about every single little thing about this girl, that you're not really a man anymore. And then that is what society is like purporting. Society is telling men that you should be like this so that you can get closer with a girl, but potentially, and then you could potentially have sex with her. You could potentially cuff her up as your girlfriend. But then actually girls realistically do not like guys like that. Remember what we heard, right? She said that I would prefer to get with my toxic ex who has no job, who goes and gambles, has a porn addiction, all of that stuff. And then this guy who actually has a business and is really nice to you, you would just blow off. That's what society is purporting. That's what society is brainwashing these guys to think.
Oh my god.
All right, come on.
Okay.
I need to wash my mouth.
Well. Jesus Christ. Well. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
Just like making gagging sounds out of nothing,
Okay,
you know?
Sorry. I'm good. I'm good.
And then, all right, for the sake of time, I think I'm going to start wrapping it up here. But what he goes like is like, are you okay? Jesus Christ. Like once he sneezes, like, you know, like when you do something embarrassing, you're just like, oh my God, fuck, you know, like, and then it's like in front of a girl. But then when you're with the boys, you won't say like, oh, Jesus Christ, you know. But what I'm trying to say here, dude, is that this whole thing of him, his reaction, his performance while on the stream is totally simp, totally feminine. And you can't say that that is all an act. That's all a charade. And the fact that he goes on to all these interviews and says, that's all an act, blah, 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 and he's defending her so much is because he actually deep down, he likes her, you know? Like, I feel like a lot of streamers, and the fact that she didn't even ask him if he's okay with it. She just assumed that he's okay with it because she knows deep down unconsciously, right? Going back to that unconscious conscious, right? Naturally, she's like aware, oh, this guy wants it. This guy is rating me a 10 out of 10. This guy is saying that I'm pretty. This guy is saying that it's okay, blah, blah, blah. And he's so nice to me. And when girls see that, they see it as this guy's a tool. He's a doormat. And doormats don't get shit. And how I see everything, the most important thing to me is society is telling all these men to be weak, to be a simp, to be nice, super nice to a woman. No matter how bad she treats you, you have to be nice. And the most important thing is you can't have opinions. And we go on to see all these interviews. His only opinions are defending this woman. And if he does not defend it, if he does not defend her, he's not going to have a relation, any business relation, because he does go on to say that, like, she helped me bring some clients, blah, blah, blah. So he's going to lose that, right? He's going to lose everything. It's a lose-lose situation. Lose. I don't know how many loses there are with that, but it's like lose your relation, business relation, lose being able to like have anything with her physically, sexually, lose just like your respect from all these other guys who are watching this, lose like your whole humanity, your whole masculinity. That's why you lost everything. And so many guys are just okay with this now. And that's why I'm trying to tell the viewers, that's why this is so important. This video is probably the most important like video out of all the other analysis, right? Because this breakdown is trying to tell you it's very important to have opinions. Like if you're very unopinionated, I mean, obviously we don't want to be opinionated to a point where you're just like toxic, right? But you want to have opinions as a man. You look at all the top leaders, they have opinions. You look at all the rich dudes, they have opinions. They're not like docile dudes, submissive like this guy. And that's very important because as we transcend into modern society where the gender pay gap between men and women is diminishing and where equality, true equality is actually beginning to happen and where LGBT is starting to get higher and higher, more aware, more socially accepted, we start to demonize men. We start to think it's toxic to be masculine, but that's actually not the case. What's actually the case is being masculine is what attracts the women. It's what gets the women. But if you be like this, where you're a feminine guy, like we've all been there, right? Like as a guy, you when you're a simp, you act gay. You act like, oh, it's okay. I personally, I've been there, right? Where you act gay, like it's okay, you know, like you're like one of my best friends. Like, dude, I've talked like that before in high school, right? Where I'm like, I actually like this girl deep down, but I'm just gonna act like really gay so I could be close with her. But deep down, I knew I'm not gonna get shit, you know, because it's like she classifies me as that friend zone category. So what I'm trying to say is that it's very important to have opinions as a man. It's very important to stand up for yourself. You can't just be a bitch and be like, I'm gonna take all of this for the sake of pedestalizing a woman, for the sake of pedestalizing anybody. I'm not trying to be misogynistic. I'm just saying what it is that you can't pedestalize anyone as a man where you put them up so high and you let them just nick you down every single step that you have no shred of masculinity left. And that is why I decided to do this breakdown. We gotta just stop demonizing men for having opinions or just demonizing anybody. I mean, women are always able to talk about like men are trash, blah, blah, blah. It's socially accepted now to say that men are trash. But whenever a man has any small opinion over a girl, that's considered misogynistic. And just think about the equality for that. Think about this direction that we're heading as a society and how that could be toxic for just men in general. And actually not just men in general, but the society as a whole, because more feminine men out there, more women are not going to find the masculine guy that she actually wants. She's going to start dating these simps thinking that that's actually what she wants, but what she really wants and needs is a masculine guy. That's all I want to say, and we're out of time. But if you like this video, just make sure to subscribe, make sure to like this video. We really don't necessarily do a lot of these breakdown videos, but this was a special case. And tune in if you like hearing like these podcast discussions. Like usually we, like I said in the middle of the video, we usually have like a couple people who discuss. And also, if anyone has connection or a contact with Dilly, we would love to have you as a guest, Dilly. Honestly, like we're a smaller podcast channel, but if you want to come on and talk about this, dude, I have a lot of questions for you. And you know, one more remark I wanted to say is that Dilly, I couldn't find his contact information. But yeah, he's just trying to promote this whole narrative that he's like the Dizzler, right? And then Dr. Dilly 69. And then when I try to find him on like these accounts, like his Twitch or Discord or whatever, I think he deactivated his stuff. So I'm just thinking, dude, you have so much exposure, bro. Like, you're talking about I need Caitlin because it's like giving me clients and like it's good business content. And I'm just thinking, dude, you could utilize this whole situation that's going on, all this clout that you got. You could literally make your own live stream and people will watch it. People will support you, bro. You got to learn how to utilize that, man. I mean, you can't just be like, oh, this is happening, this is too much, and I'm not going to do anything. Dude, right now is the snappiest time for you to do stuff, to take advantage, because you got so much exposure right now. And that's to anyone. If you have so much exposure, you see an opportunity, you got to seize it quick. You can't be like just a bitch about it. Like, oh my God, I'm simp. I don't have the mental capacity for this. that is what distinguishes like real people who are going to be leaders versus people who are just going to be followers. But anyways, if we want to talk more about that, if you want to hear more about that, leave a comment below about like just like being a leader and if like simps can actually be the ones that change the world. All right. We will see you guys next time on the Controvert podcast. Subscribe later.